There's a bit of an element of a Greek tragedy to Alina Habba. I don't know how else to say it. She ended up really bungling a bunch of official legal representation.
You listen to some of the things Alina Habba says about how they were stripped of the defenses. I mean, that's right, because of the first trial. You know, had they had a different verdict in the first trial, they might have had a different set of circumstances for the second trial. But once you've tried a case, you're stuck with that conclusion.
In a dramatic turn of events, former President Donald Trump apparently threw a tantrum following the unexpected leak of a video involving him and adult film star Stormy Daniels. The footage reportedly released by Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, has sent shockwaves through both political and media circles. The video, which has yet to be verified, threatens to reignite the controversy surrounding Trump's past alleged affairs and could have significant legal and reputational effects. This new development adds another layer of complexity to Trump's already tumultuous post-presidential life.
It's the other way around, that he regrets having represented him in this?
You know, I don't know. I mean, certainly, you know, from my perspective, I would regret having her represent.
Former President Donald Trump has vowed to appeal his historic conviction, with a key focus on the salacious testimony of porn star Stormy Daniels regarding their claimed sexual encounter and the novel legal theory employed by prosecutors in the case. We're going to be appealing this scam. Trump, the 2024 Republican candidate for president, said on Friday he faces a tough fight. Trump's defense lawyer, Todd Blanche, told CNN on Thursday that Trump would appeal after his July 11th sentence date. This means the case is unlikely to be settled before his November 5th election rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden. On Thursday, 12 jurors found the real estate mogul turned politician guilty of falsifying business records to cover up his former lawyer Michael Cohen's $130,000 hush money payment to Stormy Daniels aimed at illegally affecting the 2016 election, which Trump won. Trump, who pleaded not guilty, denied having had sex with Daniels, whose given name is Stephanie Clifford. He contends that the charges were brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, led by Democrat Alvin Bragg, in an effort to derail his presidential campaign and win on appeal. Trump 77 must show that Justice Juan Merchan made major errors overseeing the trial. If Trump's appeal in New York state courts proves unsuccessful, he could take his case to the U.S. Supreme Court. To do so, his lawyers would need to persuade at least 4 of the court's 9 justices to hear the case. Prevail. Trump would then need to show that the state prosecution violated his federal constitutional rights and that his legal team adhered to proper procedures during earlier stages of the legal processes. Trump would not be able to bypass lower state courts to immediately appeal to the Supreme Court, however he might seek relief. If, for instance, he faces imprisonment during his election campaign, the court's 6-3 conservative majority, which includes 3 Trump appointees, has previously handled Trump-related cases in ways that have proven beneficial to his candidacy. For example, when the court agreed in late February to take up Trump's claim of absolute immunity from prosecution for actions taken as president, they postponed hearing the case until late April. This delay could prevent Trump's Washington trial on federal election subversion charges, to which he has pleaded not guilty from occurring before the election recently. Donald Trump's defense attorney accused Stormy Daniels of gradually changing the details of an alleged 2006 sexual encounter with Trump. The defense aimed to convince jurors that Daniels, a key prosecution witness in the former president's hush money criminal trial, lacks credibility and cannot be trusted. "You have made all of this up." "Right," lawyer Susan asked. "No." Daniel shot back as the jury looked at the 2 women who traded barbs over what Trump's defense attorney, Nels, claimed were inconsistencies in Daniels' description of the meeting with Trump in a Nevada hotel suite. Trump rejects the entire story. Donald Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, made a stir with a remark about credibility on Tuesday. "When you have inconsistencies with any witness, it says volumes." Habba told Fox News' Sean Hannity during a discussion on porn star Stormy Daniels' testimony in the former president's hush money trial that when you pick people who aren't reliable, it speaks volumes. Habba's frustration in the courtroom is growing over Alina Habba's efforts to defend former President Donald Trump in the lawsuit brought by Eugene Carroll. Many lawyers are avoiding dealing with her, and some are even trying to undermine her career. Critics say that Habba has done a good job of damaging her own professional reputation. In a CNN interview a few months ago, Tim Paratore, a former attorney for Trump, did not hold back his criticism of Habba speaking with Caitlin Collins, who expressed regret over having her represent Trump, suggesting that in both trials, Trump essentially had no defense, and implied that the outcomes might have been different with more competent representation.
I do think that in both of these trials, he was essentially undefended. And I think that it could have turned out differently. I mean, in the second trial, unfortunately, because of the way the first trial went, I don't think anybody could have won.
Following the jury's decision to order Trump to pay $83 million in damages to writer Eugene Carroll, Trump vented his anger on Truth Social. He called the ruling absolutely ridiculous and vowed to appeal, describing it as part of a Biden-directed witch hunt against him and the Republican Party. Trump argued that the legal system was being weaponized for political purposes and claimed that his First Amendment rights were being crushed. According to him, this situation was a far cry from what America was meant to represent.
She said that I did something to her that never took place. There was no anything. I know nothing about this nut job. She's accusing me of rape. A woman that I have no idea who she is. It came out of the blue. She's accusing me of rape, of raping her. The worst thing you can do, the worst charge. And you know it's not true too. You're a political operative also. You're a disgrace. But she's accusing me, and so are you, of rape, and it never took place. I made that statement and I said, well, it's politically incorrect. She's not my type. And that's 100% true.
Last year, a jury found that Trump had sexually abused E.G. Carroll in the 1990s. And in September, U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled that Trump had defamed Carroll. The recent trial focused on finding the amount Trump owed the writer. The case revolved around a written statement Trump gave to reporters and comments he made on the South Lawn in 2019, when Carroll publicly accused him of sexual abuse. When Caitlin Collins asked Tim Parler if Trump should reconsider his current legal team or have Habba represent him in an appeal, Parler suggested that he should definitely, you shouldn't stick with the same lawyer who handled the case for your appeal. He said that's generally not a good idea, because the attorney who tried the case might have personal biases affecting how they handled it. Furthermore, Habba was involved in the case concerning protesters who sued Trump after reportedly being attacked by his security team at New York's Trump Tower in 2015. This case found a settlement in November 2022 in the aftermath of Middlebrook's sanction against Habba and Trump over Clinton. In case the duo voluntarily withdrew 2 lawsuits against James, these lawsuits were intended to stop her investigations into the former president and his businesses, which the judge had previously criticized as vexatious and frivolous.
Of it, he's like an advertisement for Hillary Clinton and the BS that they peddled and they got away with. And God knows if it was Trump, no chance. By the way, that's a perfect example, Sean, of an FEC investigation that actually resulted in a fine, unlike President Trump, unlike the hoax that we're dealing with right now in New York. He should be ashamed of himself. I mean, that was just the most ridiculous.
After Trump's second civil defamation trial, a New York City jury imposed a hefty $83 million in damages on him for statements he made in 2019, where he dismissed E.G. Carroll's claims of sexual assault as lies. Trump has consistently denied these claims following the trial. A post allegedly from Trump emerged online showing his dissatisfaction with HBA's performance. A post on X by a user at Hido Canada dated January 28, 2024, displayed what looked to be a message from Trump's Truth Social account. It read, "Alina may have lost the case. She may not have had the experience necessary for such a high-profile case," which turned out to be bigger than she probably expected. "Perhaps next time I'll opt for a law company and lawyer with more practical experience in high-stakes litigation." But she stood her ground and learned to stay strong. Mega, a user at Hido Canada, added her own commentary alongside the post, stating that even Trump doesn't agree since the trial ended. Alina Habba has faced a barrage of abuse and ridicule. Former U.S. Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Litman didn't mince words, describing her courtroom performance as a comedy of bumbling mistakes. Similarly, former Trump lawyer Tim Parler didn't hold back, showing regret over her representation. It appears that her legal skills fell short of expectations, leading to broad skepticism and disapproval. Alina Habba's time as one of Donald Trump's key attorneys appears to have lasted barely over a year. Recent developments suggest that she may no longer be in charge of defending the former president in the ongoing lawsuit. That's it for today. See you in the next show.